Good morning, Sycamores. Today is the day of your hot write. You get to write your fable out using all the skills we've been working on for the last few weeks. We're going to start with the starter. We have got a new apostrophes for possession rule today. So up until now, we've been thinking about showing noun owners that don't have an S on the end and then their possession. But today we're thinking about, what about if the noun has an S on the end? And usually it's a plural noun, which means there's more than one of them. So let's look at some examples. Singular of tent. So we've got the singular of tent. The plural, to say there's lots of them, is tents. We add an S. Tents has an S on the end. Tent doesn't. So if we were saying that something belonged to the tent, it would be tent apostrophe S. If we're saying that something belongs to the tents, more of them, we've already got the S on the end, so we put an apostrophe after the S. Dog. One dog, if we want to say that something belongs to that dog, we would put apostrophe S. When we've got the plural of dogs, so a whole group of dogs, we've already got the S on the end, so we put the apostrophe after it. Tail. One tail. It's a singular, so if something belonged to that tail, we would put apostrophe S. Tails, there's lots of them, so the tails on all the dogs, we've already got the S on the end, we put the apostrophe after it. And that's the rule we follow when there's an S on the end of the noun. So, for example, the tails of the rabbits were all fluffy. The tails of the rabbits were all fluffy. So if I was going to change that round and make that shorter, I would put the rabbits' tails were all fluffy. Now, where does the apostrophe go? The rabbits' tails, there are lots of rabbits and they have got lots of tails. Rabbits is the noun, it's got an S on the end, so we put the apostrophe after the S. It's not one rabbit, it's lots of rabbits and their tails. So the rabbits' tails, S apostrophe. So your work today, your nouns have S's on the end, so the apostrophe goes after that S. So the real way to get this right is to think, what is the noun? Has it got an S on the end? Yes. The apostrophe goes after it. So that's your starter. If I were you, I'd stop the video now, go and do that starter, and then come back to the next bit. Okay, hopefully you've done your starter and you come back again. So today is Hot Write. This is where we throw all our skills, our piece of work, to really show what we can do. Show off what we can do. So, you are going to be writing a fable in the style of Aesop's fable, and you did your plan yesterday. I've got my plan down here so that I can refer to it and I can look at it. Every time I start a new box, I need a new paragraph. Leave a line and start at the margin so that I should see, and you should see, 5 clear sections for your parts of the story. I don't want to see little sections like this with only one sentence, because a story, you need to explain and describe what the characters are doing, what they can see, what they feel. Okay, so you need all of that in storytelling with a little bit of speech to show that you can do it accurately, but also it's nice to hear what the characters are saying to each other. But not all the way through, remember, because that was really hard to follow on Friday's work. So, I've got my starter, and I decided that I was going to start with the fronted adverbial once there lived. So I've got once, take a little pause, once there lived a, so I would carry on with, once there lived a very foolish ostrich who believed he could fly. Okay, is that the end of my first paragraph? No, I'm going to put a bit more detail into that. I'm going to show how foolish he was, because I'm actually going to have his friend, the elephant, even trying to tell him that he can't fly. So, over and over again. Oh, that's a fronted adverbial. His friend, the elephant, could put some commas there, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. His friend, the elephant, told him that ostriches don't fly. Getting apostrophe crazy. Ostriches can't fly. I'm going to put a line there, but he didn't believe him. But he never believed them, he never listened to him. He never listened to him, but he never listened to him. And the reason why I put listened is, instead of believed, I've already used believed, and I don't want to use the same word again. So, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to read what I've got already and think, am I ready to go on to my next section where I was going to describe him trying to fly? So, once there lived a very foolish ostrich who believed he could fly. So I've got the character and I've got his weakness. He believes he can fly, he's foolish. He's fooling himself, isn't he? Over and over again, his friend the elephant told him that ostriches can't fly, but he never listened. So what have I got in there? I've got two fronted adverbials. Have I got enough good vocabulary? I've got foolish. I've got, it's not great, is it? So once I've written my story, I need to go back and check to see whether my words are good enough and whether I can add some things in. So we start our editing. On your sheet, you've got a checklist of things that when you finished, you can go through and check that you have got them. Have I got a moral of the story at the end? Have I got the title, the something and the something? Have I got some fronted adverbials? Have I put some inverted commas to show some characters speaking one or two lines to show that I can do it? Have I got a power of three? 3 adjectives or 3 things that the character is doing? Have I got some interesting vocabulary? So don't forget to use the checklist, because then start to make it better. Tomorrow we're going to be really looking at it and thinking how we can make it even better, but you can start that today by using the checklist on your sheet. So let's have some really good fables. It's a hot write, remember, so you're trying to build up your writing stamina. So you're trying to get your plan and just write it. What should it take you? 30 to 40 minutes. It should take that long. That's how long we would spend in class. It would be a lesson. So about 40 minutes, you should be sitting there writing. And if you're getting tired, you stop and you read it through and you make sure it makes sense. But you should be writing for that long. I will see you tomorrow. Let's have some really good fables. See you tomorrow.